Browner, Grande, have a great week to all.
Hello everybody from Arlo White in the Live Broadcast Studio, and welcome to highlights of another excellent day's golf on Super Saturday in Greenbrier. Now, Live Golf history was made by this man, the high flyers Brendan Steele. This is his second shot at the par 5 17th. In it goes, the first albatross in league history, and it's Brendan Steele who is all smiles. Cam Smith teed off at 18 today. He made a par there, then proceeded to card a 27 over the front 9 holes to briefly take the lead. This is his third at 12. An eagle for Cam there, but he was overall level par through his last 8 holes and his 3 off the lead. Brooks Koepka is seeking a 5th Live Golf title. No other man has more than 3. A pair of 64s for Brooks. He's 12 under par. That was his birdie putt at 18. But today was all about Jon Rahm, who is hunting a second straight win in the Live Golf League after his first victory at the JCB in the UK, and he's also hunting down Wako Neiman for the overall title of Live Golf League champion for 2024. A remarkable round of 62 today for Jon Rahm. That was his second into 17. This is his tee shot at 18. And you wouldn't bet against Jon Rahm going back-to-back and taking a lead into the final regular season event in Chicago in 3 weeks' time, seeking a first prize of $18 million. And he rounded things off superbly with a birdie putt at the first, an 8 under par 62 today. Jon Rahm will take a 2-stroke lead into Championship Sunday. Ripper lead the team comp by 1.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, broken the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, direct traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up, along with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, on a Monday C2C. Your lineup, Morency, a double shot from Vancouver. Coach James Young will join us to talk all kinds of WNBA and RAC. You can count on that. And then in the final hour, a double shot with Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider. Joe is going to be here today and tomorrow. Thank God for that. And you were just talking about making my day on Saturday. I got to tell you, so my buddy sent a picture of him grilling the most down in, he lives in Alabama, and he's the biggest Knowles fan in the world. And he's so obsessed with Florida State. I hate his guts. And there's no one I hate more than Florida State in college athletics. And so here he is sending me a picture of him grilling. He had 90 bratwurst on the grill. He had a, Natty and Tally shirt. It's Natty time and Tally. And then, and then I wrote back 3 hours later. I go, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Hey, how's the party going?
Yeah. There's always next year, Scotty. That's what you could have wrote back to him. Hey, man, the Natty might have to hold for a little while. There's always next year, but you have to beat Georgia Tech first. That's how it works here. So they certainly enjoyed it here in South Florida. I got to tell you, the U fans were in full force on Saturday night, letting everyone know with a Florida State gear on exactly who the number one team in Florida is.
So he wrote back, your Gator bait next Saturday in Gainesville. And I didn't respond to the text. I didn't respond to it. I just, I left it at, how's the party going?
How's your brat, dude? How's your brats working out? Everything all right?
I showed 34C the picture of him, and she's like, he's lost a lot of weight. I'm like, who cares about that? Florida State lost. And she's like, whatever, dude. I'm like, it's cane day, woman. Stay focused. So what's your reaction to the Cowboys finally getting the CeeDee Lamb deal done? 4 years, $136 million, $100 million guaranteed, $38 million signing bonus, a new receiver record, second highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. What'd you think?
Listen, it was just a matter of time, right? I mean, we spoke to Adam Kaplan on the network, and he thought this was the next domino to fall for sure. And my reaction to Mafia was, what do you think Brandon Ayuk is thinking right now? Like, that poor guy, he can't they can't trade him, they can't extend him, and yet every other legit wide receiver on the market got huge paydays except him. And we're going to see what Cincinnati does with Chase and Higgins now as well. But kudos to CeeDee Lamb. Well worth it. And what choice did Jerry really have? What were you going to do? Enter this year without CeeDee Lamb? So kudos to him, though.
So going back to the other thing, we all know Chase is going to get that money just like that. He's going to get Jefferson. He's going to get Lamb money. But T. Higgins isn't. They're not giving him a deal. This will be his last year for sure with the Bengals. And then he's on a tag. But here's the deal. What I want to know about is, because I don't even care anymore. I just don't even care. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Brandon Ayuk and, going to the Steelers. I've heard it for 2 months every single day. I want to stick a fork in my eyeball. I don't even want him anymore. How's that sound? Like, I don't even want the guy on the team anymore. I've waited so long for that deal to go down. But you have to tell me, why is that guy not getting that kind of money? Like, so he's not getting that money. He's not getting the money this guy got today. Why do you think they think so less of Brandon Ayuk, who plays in monster games and comes up big?
I don't think they think less of him, Scotty. He is the odd man out. Look at who everyone else they have to pay on that team. So, you're on a stacked, loaded team with guys getting paid up and down the roster here. And unfortunately, these guys are on teams right now where there isn't a whole lot else getting the money. Dallas, outside of CeeDee Lamb now, this is going to be the last year for their QB. They're going to have to get a new QB. All of that money that was on in the offensive line is pretty much off the books now. So who else is left to pay? In Minnesota, he's the odd man out, unfortunately, because he's not Deebo Samuel. He's not Kittle. He's not CMC. They got a lot of money tied up in some players there, and they're not good. They just can't afford them, I don't think, from a salary cap perspective, for it to make any sense in the future.
Do you think that he's closer to a deal with the Niners or being traded to the Steelers, even though the thought of it makes me want to hurl? Because we have talked about this more than anything on this show for the last 2 months. More than anything else, more than Judge's homers, Ohtani's homers, anything. There is nothing. The Olympics. We talk more about Brandon Ayuk than we did the Olympics.
I really thought the deal would have been done already, Scotty. When we talked about it, when it first started coming up a couple of months ago, we were jumping up and down and going, give me Pickens, give me Ayuk. I love the sound of this. I think this could really work out. And then that's been dragged out for how long now? And quite honestly, if somebody was willing to go and pay him, wouldn't they have done it and pulled the trigger already, Scotty? They gave him permission for the trade, but teams aren't running to the window to try to pay this guy because they know they're going to have to if they trade for him. So it's a rough situation for Ayuk. But, hey, listen, the only thing he can do is go out. He's still going to make, $13 million. Go out, make your money, and then next year's another year.
So, the preseason ended yesterday. The last games, thank God, it finally ended. The disaster that it is. They talk about, since we're talking about the Steelers, who's obviously it's Russell Wilson that's getting that starting job, right, over Fields, even though, let's face facts. I think Fields is a way better player in terms of what he brings to the field, like what he's capable of doing, breaking free and running and doing things with the football. I'm scared to death when he throws the ball. But then again, I'm not comfortable when Wilson throws it either. But I know this: his legs are shot. He ain't got nothing left in that. He can only drop back and maybe scramble for 5 yards and throw a ball. But Fields can run all over the field like Fran Tarkington.
Scotty, I don't for the life of me understand what is so you play Fields. Why? Because he has more upside. Russell Wilson is not a guy that's going to get outside the pocket, and like you said, he's like a stick in the mud here. He's like in quicksand. Fields gives you other intangibles that will allow you to be able to at least be a better offense, and that's all that matters here. The win total for the Steelers is not going to go up or down no matter who Tomlin names. So if that's the case, they're both on equal footing. Give me the guy that can actually scramble and rush for 100 yards in a game and win a game, and that's Fields as far as I'm concerned.
So is Brissett the starter? He injured his right shoulder. Are they going to play him, or are they going to play Drake May?
No, they should wrap him in bubble wrap and ship him the hell out of Patriot land. That guy is absolutely horrific. Anybody that watched him this preseason, my goodness. Go with you're not winning but 2 games anyway this year. Play the rookie. It's all about the rookie in the future. Play Drake May.
Yeah, interestingly enough. So we're going to get into a lot today, including Judge's amazing tear of home runs, Ohtani's while we're at it, Keegan Bradley, a winner, $3.6 million at Castle Rock in the BMW. That's a lot of money for my man, the head of the Ryder Cup team. It's all happening today with the mayor of Miami on C2C.
I've told y'all time and time again, Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third. I'm telling y'all, this guy can absolutely ball as a 3-and-D guy, and he's going to take the next step.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
That's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
Not a math bot. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
Catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 Eastern along all of our outlets, all of our TV stations, all of our streaming networks, all of our radio, Sports Byline USA, satellite radio, Sirius XM Channel 159, and Sports Rage with Gabe Morency. Weeknights at 10, and you can catch him, thank God, every day on C2C, a double shot from lovely Vancouver, BC, British Columbia, son. Stay focused. All right, Gabe, you have to explain this to me, the whole Dan Jansen thing, because I got tripped up when you said he was hitting when the game was suspended, and then he's catching his own. Oh, God, you got me all crossed up. What is happening here in this doubleheader?
Yeah, it's almost too much when you start to double down on it all. There have been players in the past that have played for two different teams on the same day, right? If you go back like in the, in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, etc., there have been a couple of instances where trades would happen in between doubleheaders. And the transactions would go through that quickly in the old days, and boom, next thing you know, you're in the other uniform playing in a doubleheader. But nobody in baseball history before, and that's saying something. So Danny Jansen, you're going to the Hall of Fame. You're not going to have a plaque, but you're gonna have like a little. You're gonna have a little corner at the end of the aisle type of deal. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is the only guy ever to play in the same game for both teams. So very, very bizarre. June 26th, the Blue Jays were playing the Boston Red Sox. Jansen was up at the plate. It was an 0-1 count, and the game got suspended due to weather, and they're replaying the game today. So he's now on the Boston Red Sox. He was on the Blue Jays before, but now he's on the Red Sox. So technically, he's playing in the same game, but to make it even crazier, he was actually batting when the game got suspended. So he will be catching tonight his own at-bat in a bizarro world. Like, it started out as 0-1. The game resumes. So now the game resumes at 0-1, except there'll be a pinch hitter there for him. Yet he'll be behind the plate catching for the at-bat that should be him at-batting. It's almost like a who's on first deal.
So, honestly, at the end of the day, he's not playing for them. He's not. He's just catching the second game, or he's catching the game with someone else batting for him. So he's not playing for both of them. It just, in theory, he is, but he's not really doing it. What would have been cool would be
it's the same game.
I know, but if he came out and actually was in the Blue Jays uniform and went back to at bat at 0-1, and then
turned around. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, I would like him to do both. I don't disagree. And if they really want to have fun with this as well, he should roll out just as a joke, even in BP, in a split uniform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should get him. They should get him the split, and he'd be the one guy to get away with it. I don't disagree with you. It would be great, wouldn't it? Listen, we're going to let you at bat for the Jays. Then you're going to flip over, and then you just go back to the Red Sox, and it's done now for real. But it's one of these little quirks in baseball that it doesn't, never happened before, surprisingly enough. Somehow you figure, I think it's been 148 years or whatever it's been that it would have happened before. But it's an interesting quirk of a very interesting baseball season so far.
You're right. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame for this because it's never happened before, and it's so unique and so bizarre that it's going to get him in there. I want to go back to Saturday because last week you had a great bet. You convinced me of Haynes King and Georgia Tech to cover the 10.5. So I bet it, and I hit it too with your wisdom. You were right about the Ramblin' Wreck. Not only did they cover, they won the game.
There's so much talk about Florida State not winning, and I don't think enough talk about, Georgia Tech's pretty good, guys. This coach, Brent Key, Georgia Tech, Scotty, if I'm the Yellow Jackets, you better pay this guy. Like fast. I know he's still young. He hasn't been there very long, but you see the turnaround and where this football program is going right now. Doing a great job. They were just ready, Scott. This is a football team. Like I said, college football, it does carry over from the previous year. Did you win your bowl game? How did you end the season? Right? And Georgia Tech just sort of bottled it and carried it over into this season. And as far as Florida State is concerned, listen, guys, we're in a new world right now, right? 12 teams in the college football playoff. It's only going to be 2 years of 12 teams. They're going to 16 in 2 years. So they have a 2-year window TV deal with this, and then they re-up, and it'll go to 16. So as it is now, I think a lot of people are going to panic. And I see people, I know, Scott, you were having some fun with your FSU buddy, but one by one, every school's going to lose this year because of these schedules. Everybody's going to get it. Everyone's going to get memed on Twitter at some point. You guys suck. You just lost. Look at the schedules that teams play. Absolutely brutal. But, so, listen, your Canes this week. You're playing the Gators. Big-time game.
Right.
Not the end of the world if you lose the game, Scott. It's not a conference game. Still control your own destiny, right? This is a showcase game, right? Same with Michigan and Texas. I'd like to win the game. Michigan would like to win the game. If they don't win the game, it has nothing to do with the Big Ten and the playoffs. It's irrelevant. Florida State just lost a freaking conference game, guys. So you're telling me they're not going to lose another one along the way now? Like, Florida State are doomed for real. All the chirping and all the crying and all the trolling of everybody, it backfires in week 0 on them. And it does. They're done. I want to say, I'm not that over dramatic guy with one loss, because you can get to the playoffs now with a couple losses, but they're going to lose again. They've already lost a conference game. They're not going to win the ACC. Your Canes are in the picture, but I maintain Clemson Tigers right now, guys, plus 275 to win the ACC. Clemson will be the best team in the ACC and win the ACC.
Wow. So you're going with Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers to have a big year. They haven't done anything in a while. It's been a while. Like, people are starting to ask questions about Dabo Swinney at Clemson.
And I think they shouldn't, though. And I wonder why. Listen, bro, they won double-digit games 12 years in a row. They went 9-4 last year. They weren't 4-9. They went 9-4. They had a rougher year last year. They lost 4 games, and they're in tough this week, bro. They're playing the Georgia Bulldogs this week. But another instance in which it doesn't affect the ACC. I think Clemson's the best team in the ACC.
What a game that's going to be on Saturday between those two. We'll talk more with Morency.
I told y'all time and time again, Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third. I'm telling y'all, this guy can absolutely ball as a 3-and-D guy, and he's going to take the next step.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And that's a good point. And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
Morency jamming out in the studio this weekend. I heard him playing some massive metal riffs, and he even had a little pop riff in there at the end. Morency, you may have to revert back to your old career. I mean, you're really good at this, but I'm thinking no matter what, the fallback plan is to get back into metal and back into performing live with bands on stage across the world.
Yeah, you know what? I do have I do still have that that passion for music. Yeah, you know what? And I love what I do right now. But I have a couple of things that we're working on in the future, right? We did a new project. It took a little while to get done, but it's finally done. It's being mixed, mastered right now. And we're one, I'm not going to say the only show. Remember, Jason Ellis used to have his own music to start the show, but very few shows have their own band or perform their own music. All my shows, all the bumper music is me, right? So we have like a fresh season coming up right now. But this new thing, you know, I did a lot of speed metal over the years, but this thing I'm doing right now is more Judas Priest, Joe Satriani. It's more sort of, you know, a hard rock, old school 80s, 90s metals vibe to it. But I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I'm friends with Jason. So when he first went to Sirius XM, I remember, and Mafia does too, he was just this skateboarder dude with, you know, blonde hair, whatever. Fast forward 20 years, he's had all of his teeth knocked out of his mouth. He has gold teeth. He has 7 million tattoos all over his body. When I met him, he looked like me. And now he's an animal, and he gets in fist fights, and he'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Life of a radio host.
I mean, and he's insane, and I love him. He's a whack job. I did Tony Hawk's Stand Up for Skate Parks with Jason. He's a complete lunatic, and he's crazy. I love him for that. Speaking of which your plan for next Sunday is amazing. I know you're going to be at Vegas for USC and LSU.
Well, big games this Saturday. You've been there. You've been down to. You've been down on Fremont Street. Fremont Street. You've been to Stadium Swim. Listen, you can't top Vegas. You know when all when it's week one, the anticipation of the NFL coming up. So we're going to be all over it. We're going to be in Vegas this weekend, entering all the contests, doing the rounds. We're going to enter a couple of contests, and we're going to be watching the games, including the Canes and the Gators. Really looking forward to that game. Michigan opened up their season against Fresno State. And then Sunday night, guys, the kickoff classic at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, the USC Trojans and the LSU Tigers in this game. And I'll tell you what, you know, the spread got as high as like 6.5, 7 in the offseason. It's been bet all the way down to 4 right now. There's a lot of traction with the USC Trojans. They're almost mirror images of each other, to be honest with you. They both have potent offenses. They both don't have very good defenses, right? So I'm expecting a track meet in this game. Something to note, though, guys, the LSU Tigers have lost 4 consecutive season openers, all right? They lost the last 2 years to Florida State. The year before that, they lost in Los Angeles to UCLA at the Rose Bowl. And the year before that, they got upset by Mississippi State. Brian Kelly's never won, so this is only his 3rd year, but Brian Kelly's never won a season opener before. I think people are sleeping. I was going to say people are sleeping on USC, Scott. In the mainstream media, there's sort of a lot of mockery of Lincoln Riley and all that, but in the wise guy sharp world, Scott, the number's down to 4 right now. You saw what Miller Moss did with the 6 touchdown passes in the Holiday Bowl. I'm expecting USC to be in this football game. Wouldn't be surprised if they won the game. Love the over in this game, Scott. We'll post some wild videos. We're gonna tear it apart in Vegas. Can't wait.
Well, it's 63.5, and I've been to that Stadium Swim. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like that swimming pool. It's like 6 levels of pools, and then this giant screen with like every single game in sports is live on this jumbo like drive-in theater size television that hangs at the end of that swimming pool. I've never seen anything like it. Like going into that pool is like going into Disneyland, a ride on Space Mountain. You'd be standing in line for 2 hours just to get into the pool. I took that escalator up to the top of that thing. I thought I was at, Six Flags. And then I got out and there was 6 tiers of swimming pools. And it's
I don't like that escalator,
it's
bro.
Crazy. I don't like the escalator either.
No, I'm dead serious. I asked them once when we were going down after I did a show there. I said, has anyone ever taken a face-first tumble down this thing? She turns around. She goes, a few, yeah. And I'm holding on. Dude,
it was awful.
It's like a ski slope, bro.
I was scared to death on that escalator.
Oh, I hate it.
I told y'all time and time again. Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third. I'm telling y'all, this guy can absolutely ball as a 3-and-D guy, and he's going to take the next step.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a math bot. The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
Our basketball analyst on SportsGrid, of course, is James Young. You can follow him at Coach Young NJ on X. You can see him across the board on the grid and on Coast to Coast. And I usually find him somewhere in a gym working, grinding, like me, playing all the time. I played today already. I'm playing again tonight. I shot for an hour, and then I'm going to play tonight with the big boys, with the big game players. So. And I'll never forget, I was playing with this NBA guy last week, no names, and there was a loose ball. It was the ball had been like deflected in like on the wing, and it flew towards center court. And of course, I wasn't back on D, so when they threw the ball up the court, it got deflected back toward the half court at center court, and it was coming right for me. And this former NBA player with tremendous talent and speed and skill still, and I'm old and have none of the above, he started running towards me to get the loose ball. And all I heard him yell was, "Get the F out of the way, Ferrall." And he got the ball and went down and finished. I'm like this. When he came by me, I just lifted my arms and got out of the way, coach. I let him have it. And then we went back to the other end. I said, "Aren't you glad I didn't screw that up?" He goes, "I am. Shut up." Like, he doesn't like me, this guy. Like, he don't even want, but I hit some big shots, and he hates when I hit big shots because he thinks I should be retired and put in a bag in the ground. He thinks I should be 6 feet under. He can't believe that I'm still knocking down corner pocket dagger threes from deep. Anyway, Coach, I want to talk first about Anthony Edwards upsetting Magic Johnson and my boy Zeke.
Boy, my man Anthony Edwards basically think no one besides Jordan was any good back in the day. But listen, man, and the Magic kind of clapped back with the "you've never won anything." I mean, granted, at Georgia, his team was last in the SEC, and he hasn't won anything in the NBA. Listen, the talent is athleticism is different now in today's game than it was back then. But you can't tell me that Magic wouldn't have figured it out, or Zeke wouldn't have figured it out, or Patrick Ewing couldn't get 25 a night in this NBA.
Right,
you know, or like try you got a guy like Joker who can't guard Embiid. What is he gonna do with that dream shake when he hits you with the little dream shake up and under? So listen, I get Ant putting respect on Jordan, a.k.a. everybody thinks that's his son, which he kind of does look like Jordan a little bit, so I can see the comparison. But let's pipe down a little bit, disrespecting the players. Well, these are the guys that Ferrall and I grew up with and watched play.
They were
and
great.
We can go deeper. We have to go now. People got to talk about, David Thompson or Dan Issel or Bernard King. Bernard King, bing, 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 fade away jumper just like Bernard King. I mean, don't give me sorry for all. We have other stuff to talk about. Just pipe down with it, all right? Just pipe down.
No, but honestly, I got to be honest with you that I don't even believe today there is a rivalry as good as Magic and Bird that has ever been. Honestly, there's nothing today. There is nothing today that equates to that. It really doesn't. So people can say whatever they want about today. I do not believe. I think the game's higher up. I think the game's faster. I think they're more athletic. But at the end of the day, I do not believe that they're better. I do not believe they're better. That basketball, that was the greatest rivalry ever.
Listen. Ant Edwards and your big money, right? Jaylen Brown and your $300 million contract. All you jabronis getting $30, $40, $50 million a year. If it wasn't for Magic and Larry in the early 80s, when the NBA Finals folks were on tape delay, they didn't even play the games live. It wasn't for those two. And then someone like Jordan blowing the roof off the game globally, you wouldn't have the money that these guys make. So while you may disrespect their game, don't disrespect what they did for you, because they're the reasons why you got all that money in your pocket.
Yeah, they're just, bottom line is that's just stupid is what it is. So I have not seen the pictures of Luka. Has he been eating again?
Bro.
Here we go.
Bro, I mean, Luka, let me tell you something. Wait.
Look at
what's
him.
going on? Wait, really quick. Did CeeDee Lamb report for the Cowboys yet? Did he sign that money? I know they got Jake Ferguson at tight end, but Luka looking like he ready to be at tight end. Then, maybe they go with that double tight end set, two tight end set. I know they've missed Jason Witten, but maybe Luka's trying out for the Cowboys? I don't know. Whether it is, that is one thick dude right there.
He's looking awful. That's all I have to say. All right, fat. So what is the big story, do you think, coming off of the weekend? I think it's Asia Wilson's last second shot, right, to win that game. Was that not the best play of the weekend?
Yes, and what I call the Moses Malone of the WNBA, a.k.a. Angel Reese, a.k.a. 2 points, 2 rebounds in a possession. Because that girl, I don't want to say she pads her stats, but she don't miss a lot of bunnies. And I want people to stop for a second. Because I heard the argument. Oh, well, she's only shooting 38% from the floor, and Caitlin Clark's 41%. Caitlin Clark is shooting from the damn logo. This girl's missing bunnies. I know she's getting hit. I know she's getting fouled. But don't compare the 2 percentage points in regards to that. You want to do it? Go to true shooting percentage. Go to effective field goal shooting percentage, where it ties in the deep ball. Angel Reese has been fantastic, but she got to make layups. And lucky for the Las Vegas Aces, they got that win, Ferrall, because if they would have lost again after losing 2 straight to the Minnesota Lynx and then also losing to the Liberty, folks, the Liberty are the best team in the WNBA. They'll win tonight and cover versus the Phoenix Mercury. But you got to be concerned with Las Vegas, particularly the shooting splits of Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. And they don't have depth. They're missing the Kate Martin girl. So the Kate Martin, Paige Martin's a kid I recruited back in the day. They're missing Kate Martin. They're in trouble, Ferrall. They're not the best team in the WNBA Aces. I don't think they're the second. I don't even think they're the third. They may be the 4th best team in the league right now.
So you're saying right now, as we look at the championship odds, they have them in second. You think that they're two-peat, they're going for the 3-peat's not happening?
No. I mean, listen, can it happen? Absolutely. But it's going to take those three young ladies to shoot the ball, particularly from three, a whole lot better if that's going to happen. Ferrall, simply put, New York's the best team in the WNBA. Connecticut getting Marina Mabry is clutch because they need a shooter. They need to shoot the ball better. And people need to stop disrespecting the Minnesota Lynx. Folks, they got 2 wins versus the Aces and 2 wins versus the Liberty. Cheryl Reeve, forget what she said about the Olympics. She's a hell of a coach. And Nafisha Collier right now could be the 3rd best player in the WNBA behind Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart.
All right, what are the plays for these 3 games tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go Atlanta Dream plus the 2. I like the way this team is playing as of late. In regards to Mystics and Storm, the Mystics are a team that plays a lot better since that 0-12 start. I think it's way too many points for Seattle, a team that struggled against the spread. And then give me the New York Liberty to go ahead and cover against Phoenix and give me Sabrina Ionescu over her assist prop. The game will get up and down. Sab was really bad versus Connecticut. Should be much better tonight.
Big win for the Sun over the Liberty over the weekend.
Huge win. Got to remember, folks, they made that trade for Marina Mabry the day after the Liberty had won 3 straight games versus New York. That team, listen, Ferrall, simply put, they shot 2 of 13 from 3. Both threes were made by Mabry. If they can make enough threes, their defense could get them to the title.
All right, so back to the NBA player that I play with. Here's what he said to me last week when I tried to set a screen for him. He goes, never screen for me ever again, ever.
You don't need screens.
He don't need
Go
screens.
to the corner.
That's what he
Get
told
out
me.
of
He
the
goes,
way.
I don't need screens from you, big fella. Just stay away from me.
I told y'all time and time again. Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third. I'm telling y'all, this guy can absolutely ball as a 3-and-D guy, and he's going to take the next step.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to 1 shot. And
That's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
So I want to go back with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, and relive this great game in Dublin I enjoyed so much on Saturday. So I was at, I was at the gym, believe it or not. I was working out. I was lifting. I was on a bike. I had gotten done lifting. I was on a bike. I was doing legs. I was riding. I'm watching this game on my phone, right? And I'm sitting there. And then play this Aiden Burr 44-yard field goal on ESPN. Here we go. Let's do it.
44 yards away to do it. He got it. And the yellow jacket did it. Upset in Cairns. They found themselves a pot of gold at the end of their Irish rainbow. Number 10, Florida State goes down in Dublin.
My whiskey clear, hell of an engineer, and I drink my whiskey clear. Rambling right from Georgia, taking a hell of an end. So I was on this bike, and when the kid nailed the kick, I yelled. I hate Florida State so much. I yelled, F yeah, in this gym. And I mean, because I had headphones, I had earbuds in, and I didn't care about anybody else around me. I was soaking wet, I was sweating. I didn't care I just yelled out as loud as I could, and I didn't even remember where I was. I yelled out, F yeah. And the whole place shut down. People falling off treadmills, people crashing on the bikes, on the spin bikes, people lifting weight, people tearing their groins on weight machines because I yelled out, F yeah, so loud. Mirrors started cracking. My daughter pretended like she didn't know me. She started running out the front door. I hate Florida State so much. For all you Noles fans out there, kiss my ass. I just wanted to say that just to start this segment. Joe, what did you think? Like, I really enjoyed it as a Canes fan, and I don't even care if they lose because they always lose. The Canes always lose. I'm so used to losing now. I just enjoy more watching Florida State lose.
The only thing better, Scotty, would have been watching the Florida State kicker miss the field goal and lose. But, well, I'll take it with Georgia Tech because that's usually what we get with Florida State. But I also think it's important to point out, and I heard Gabe mention it earlier, this wasn't a game that Florida State gave away. This was a game that Florida State got its butt kicked in the trenches. And I think it's a sign, Scotty, of things to come in college football. You can't bring in 18 new guys in the transfer portal, put them on the field, and in 3 weeks think everything is going to be puppy dogs and rainbows. You can't. All of those guys that were playing with each other on Georgia Tech for the last couple of years bulldozed them, Scotty. I mean, they beat Florida State. Florida State didn't hand that game to Georgia Tech by any stretch. So kudos to Georgia Tech.
Here's the title odds now. Do we have that? The title odds after – that's Mike Norvell watching the ball go through the uprights. Look at his face. Now, look at those odds. What do you think? You heard Morency. Do you think they're cooked, that they're going to lose again in the ACC and their season's over and they're not going to the playoff?
Their schedule is brutal. But listen, if you're going to lose a game, Scotty, you lose the first one. Right? I mean, we saw Ohio State and Urban Meyer do that years ago. If you're going to lose a game, lose it early. But the problem is they have zero room for error now moving forward. So they basically screwed themselves. So it's tough sledding ahead. They have the talent, but what does that mean these days, Scotty? They got the talent, and if it takes them 3 games, 4 games to figure it out, you might have 2 losses by that point. Your season's over.
What big-time program in college football now doesn't have the talent? They all do. Like, Florida State's loaded, so's Miami, Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Texas, Oklahoma State. They're all loaded with talent. They all have tons of talent. Now, here's another one. I hit that game at 10.5, and then I bet, Mafia is my witness, I had New Mexico Lobos in 13.5. Here's Montana State winning 35-31. Scott Humphreys, a 4-yard TD with 10 seconds left in the game to put Montana State up for good.
First and goal. Clock winding down. That's Humphrey. It's touchdown, Montana State.
The governor, Tim Brando, on the call in Albuquerque. How about this one? I bet New Mexico hit it. Then I bet the 27 and a hook with Nevada Reno. I had the Wolfpack, and SMU gets by him 29-24 with 16 unanswered in the fourth to win. RJ Maryland catches a 34-yard pass from Preston Stone to put the Mustangs up with just over a minute to go on CBS Sports Network.
Third down 8. Stone again deep. Again. End zone caught. Sliding catch. R.J. Maryland from Preston Stone. And SMU is on top.
Joe, it didn't matter. I had 27 and a hook. I don't care about scores. I care about final scores and spreads.
Yep. And neither of those games was it ever in doubt, Scotty, that the underdog was covering. And even in the last game, it didn't matter. There was no doubt in Georgia Tech, New Mexico, SMU, Nevada. There was never a doubt by the time you got to the fourth quarter that the spread was covered. You were good to go back in the dogs.
How about I passed out before I bet it. I should have bet it before I started drinking. Was the Delaware State game getting 40? When is the last time Hawaii scored 40 points in a game was my theory. And sure enough, 35-14, Hawaii wins on the Big Island, but Delaware State, with all their travel problems, still covered. I want to get your reaction when we come back. I really do, because I don't have enough time now to talk about it, but I want to plant the seed. I want to get your opinion of this Denver Post columnist that has gotten banned by the Colorado football program and Deion Sanders and the athletic department, the president. They are all behind Prime on this one. But this guy was taking personal shots at the program and at Sanders, and they have banned him from. They're never going to answer another question that he asked. He's allowed to go to games, but he's not allowed to interview anybody. I want to know your thoughts on that when we come back with Joe Ranieri.
Yep.
I told y'all time and time again, Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third. I'm telling y'all, this guy can absolutely ball as a 3-and-D guy, and he's going to take the next step.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
SportsGrid, the only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
It's C2C on a Misery Monday. I'm Ferrall in New York along with Joe Ranieri in Miami. Joe, Sean Keeler's been on the show a few times from the Denver Post, and he sure did get under Deion Sanders' skin. Any way you slice it, people can say whatever they want, but the reality is I don't know exactly word for word all the different things that he said about him. I know he made fun of his, his religion, his being a Christian. He said he was a false prophet, and then he said, he made fun of everything. He said he's a liar, and you name it. But then they banned him from asking football questions. He's not allowed to. He can go to the games. He just can't interview anybody. He's not allowed to interview players, coaches, nothing. And so, like, my theory would be, he obviously did his job, and he got them all worked up and rattled and wrote stories that upset him. I could name a million writers that have done the exact same thing for a living over the last 50 years that do it every day. In New York, they do it every single day. They do it every day, and nothing happens to them ever. This guy gets banned for life. Like, are you kidding me? I think they should send him to cover Sean Payton and get under his skin now.
Yeah. Scotty, I'm kind of shocked that Deion went this route, because if anybody knows the media and knows how to utilize it, it's Deion Sanders. The fact that he made such a spectacle of this guy, when quite honestly, what are you doing? You could have let the guy you could have ignored him. You could have not went to him. You didn't have to make such a big deal of this, which he's done. And quite honestly, like you said, is this the first time this has ever happened? I mean, this is exactly what reporters do across the board. They try to push your buttons. I'm shocked Deion went out of his way to allow the guy to let him know that he got to him. I did not see this coming from Deion Sanders at all.
Do you think that I think it's ridiculous that he's got stuff in his contract where he doesn't have to deal with people. He doesn't have to deal with the media. Now, listen, I got to tell you, it irritates the hell out of me, because if you're going to be this big show off, which is what he is, he's an absolute show off. The guy, it's all about him. It's not even about his football team. It's not about his players. It's not about his sons. It's not about anything. It's about him. Everything's about him. The sunglasses, the whole, he's selling sunglasses. He's got all these celebrities and movie stars coming to his games and standing on the sideline. Meanwhile, they suck monkey onions. They're horrible. And he's the most overrated coach I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen a guy lose that much and get that much attention in my life. My point is that this guy, as you said, he knows how to manipulate the media like no other. I cannot believe that they let this guy have these, like he does it to this day. He's having these press conferences where he's like, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you in the back. I'm done with CBS. Like, I think it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yes. And just to give you an idea, I mean, listen to the players here, Scotty. Over 40 players from the team last year transferred. He's got 55 new scholarship players on the team. So if he was as good a coach as he claims to be, right? How do you get over 40 players to get me the hell out of Boulder as fast as you can? I think it tells you everything you need to know about what's going on with Colorado. And unless he starts winning 9-10 games a year, Scotty, and starts making some noise, playoff noise, this act will run real quick in Boulder, and it'll be over before you know it.
And I'll tell you what, I think they've gone up in weight, up in class. I think they were in a conference that was melting, and now they're in a conference where they're going to have problems.
Yep. Big Scott, what is he going to win? Again, you just brought in 55 new players that have never played with one another. How is that going to work? And, quite honestly, there's only so much Shador and Hunter can do. You're a two-man team. This must be one hell of a coaching job. I wouldn't put it past Deion to have success, but you're asking an awful lot of this team with that schedule to make some noise. I just don't see it happening. I think it's going to get worse before it ever gets better.
When we come back, I want to talk to Joe about a couple other things in college football, including Michigan and their problems with the NCAA, UConn, and an invite to the Big 12, which makes no sense to me at all. They should not leave the Big East in basketball under any circumstances. And then we'll get into baseball.